Hey everyone! Today we're diving into one of the most common questions I get asked: should you combine finances with your partner? It's a topic that can make people feel anywhere from mildly uncomfortable to completely terrified. But don't worry, we're going to break this down into actionable steps and clear guidance that will help you navigate this important decision. This is the Finance Virtuoso channel. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the notification bell for the best money tips and tricks. First, let's address the elephant in the room: when should you even start talking about money with your partner? While some financial gurus might tell you to whip out your investment portfolio on the first date, there are actually 3 natural moments in a relationship when money talks make perfect sense. And no, showing off your impressive stock portfolio or emergency fund isn't going to win you any points on that first coffee date. In fact, it might be the reason there isn't a second date. The first golden opportunity is when you're planning your first trip together. Think about it, you're both excited about the adventure, and it's the perfect time to casually bring up financial expectations. You can start with something like, "I'm really looking forward to our trip. What kind of experience are you hoping for?" This naturally leads to discussions about budgets and spending preferences. Are you both thinking of a budget-friendly road trip, or is one of you dreaming of a luxury resort while the other is planning to backpack? These conversations can reveal a lot about your financial values without feeling forced. The second perfect moment is when you're moving in together. You'll have shared expenses anyway, so it's the ideal time to discuss how you want to handle money as a couple. Even if you decide to keep things separate at this stage, you'll need to figure out who's paying for what and how you'll manage joint expenses. This is also when you might discover important details about each other's financial habits, like whether your partner is meticulous about paying bills on time or tends to be more relaxed about due dates. The third opportunity is when you get engaged. This is when you can have deeper conversations about your shared future and how money fits into that vision. It's not just about who pays for what anymore, it's about building a life together and using money as a tool to achieve your shared dreams. You can discuss everything from wedding budgets to long-term goals like homeownership, starting a family, or early retirement. These conversations set the foundation for your financial partnership. Now, here's something crucial that many people miss: financially successful couples don't just talk about money when there's a problem. They make it a regular part of their relationship. Think about it, we don't just talk about health when we're sick, or about our careers only when we're job hunting. Money shouldn't be any different. In fact, the most successful couples treat money discussions as an ongoing dialogue, not a one-time conversation or something to bring up only during crises. Let me share a secret that transformed my own relationship with money discussions: vulnerability. Instead of starting with accusations or rigid budgets, try opening up about your own money challenges. Maybe you overspend on takeout, or perhaps you're anxious about retirement savings. When you show vulnerability first, it creates a safe space for your partner to open up too. Here's a practical framework for having these conversations without starting World War III in your living room. Start broad, ask your partner about their general thoughts on money. Some people view it as a tool for security, others see it as a means for experiences. Understanding these fundamental perspectives is crucial before diving into the nitty-gritty of joint accounts and budgets. You might be surprised to learn that your partner's attitude toward money was shaped by watching their parents struggle during the 2008 financial crisis, or that they have dreams of starting their own business someday. Now, let's talk about the big question: should you combine your finances? Research suggests that couples who combine their finances often report greater relationship satisfaction, especially among households with lower incomes. Why? Because it creates a genuine sense of partnership. You're no longer thinking in terms of "my money" and "your money," it becomes "our money" and "our goals." This shift in perspective can be incredibly powerful in building trust and working together toward shared objectives. But here's the thing: combining finances doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing decision. Think of it like a spectrum. On one end, you have couples who combine everything. On the other end, you have those who keep everything separate except for shared expenses. And there's a whole range of options in between. The key is finding what works for your specific situation. Some couples start with a joint account for shared expenses while maintaining separate accounts for personal spending, then gradually combine more as they grow more comfortable with the arrangement. Let's tackle one of the trickiest scenarios: what happens when one partner earns significantly more than the other? There are two main approaches here. The first is proportional contribution, where each person contributes based on their percentage of the total household income. For example, if one person makes $100,000 and the other makes $50,000, they might split shared expenses in a 2-to-1 ratio. This can feel fair to some couples, especially early in the relationship or when both partners strongly value financial independence. The second approach, which I personally favor, is pooling everything together and treating it as our money. This approach is simpler, more flexible, and often creates a stronger sense of partnership. But here's the crucial part: regardless of which approach you choose, make sure each person has some, no questions asked, money they can spend however they want. This maintains individual autonomy while building a shared financial life. Think of it as having your own pocket money, whether you want to spend it on coffee, hobbies, or saving up for a surprise gift for your partner. It's entirely your call. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What if your partner is a bit, let's say, enthusiastic with spending? Instead of pointing fingers and saying, "You spend too much at Target," elevate the conversation to focus on shared goals. For instance, if you both agreed to save $5,000 for an emergency fund, frame the discussion around that goal rather than individual spending habits. This approach keeps the focus on your shared vision rather than turning it into a blame game. Here's a real game changer that most people miss: set up regular money dates. Yes, I said dates. Schedule time every 2 weeks or at least monthly to discuss your finances. Have an agenda, start with compliments and appreciation, and treat it like any other important aspect of your relationship that deserves attention and care. These meetings don't have to be long, even 30 minutes can be enough to check in on your goals, celebrate progress, and address any concerns. Remember, the goal isn't just to manage money effectively, it's to use money as a tool to build the life you want together. Whether that means saving for a house, planning amazing vacations, or building a secure retirement, combining finances can help you work as a team toward those goals. Successful couples don't just focus on the numbers, they focus on the dreams those numbers can help them achieve. Let me wrap this up with some practical advice. Whatever system you choose, make sure it's flexible enough to adapt as your circumstances change. Get raises, change jobs, have kids, life happens. The key is having a foundation of open communication about money that lets you adjust your approach as needed. Your financial partnership should evolve just as your relationship does. And here's my final thought: don't let fear of money conversations hold you back from building a stronger partnership. Yes, talking about money can feel uncomfortable at first. But so does learning to dance, and we still do that with our partners. Think of money conversations as another dance you're learning together. Sometimes you'll step on each other's toes, but with practice, you'll find your rhythm. Remember, every financially successful couple started somewhere, and they probably had their fair share of awkward money talks along the way. That's all for today, folks. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments how you and your partner handle your finances. Until next time, keep building that rich life together.